You know, I agree with what you said this morning. It's very light, if anything, in the morning for the morning
Yeah,
commute at best. You know, it doesn't look like it's anything crazy, but then again, we've been there before where it's like, you know,
right.
pivot.
Yeah.
So,
Which is why we'll have trackers either on
yeah.
standby or out. So for sure, as far as the morning show goes, and just the prep that we had this morning with all the folks, is we're going to be updating what the roads are doing currently, so you know if you can get out, get where you're going. And right now, most signs point to you'll be able to do that. But what happens as the day goes on is
Yeah.
then the next question.
Yeah. And, you know, so if we don't get anything at all in the morning, I don't think there's much during the after that through the afternoon until late afternoon. And then we start to see, you know, things start to increase a little bit. But I think tomorrow evening, Friday evening, I think we're in it to win it. I mean, I think it starts tomorrow evening. A lot
Yeah,
of folks talking about going to the Thunder game. I think when you're going in, there may be some light snow or sleet falling. I think it's going on when you're coming out.
right.
I mean, right? The way it looks. I mean, it looks
Yeah,
like,
yes, yes. And for people that are still messaging, because you and I were going to be at the Thunder game, we are not, because now we are obviously working. But the Thunder game is going on. It's just how safe will it be traveling to and from? And so many questions for schools and superintendents, and I've had different people from different school districts messaging me, and I know you have too. And yeah, they might be able to get to school in the morning, but it is sometime in the afternoon that it starts coming
hmm,
down. And I mean, I don't know what time that's going to be, but it is
yeah.
sometime in the afternoon that roads start to get slick.
Right, right. And another thing is that, you know, we're going to be the model date I think is a little bit off on how cold we're going to be tomorrow afternoon. It's I think too warm. So we have been obviously we're in the, you know, upper teens, low 20s tomorrow afternoon. We're below freezing, you know,
Yeah,
tomorrow morning through the day. Temperatures just fall all day. So the ground will just get harder. It will continue to freeze and the bridges and overpasses. And then by late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, we're frozen. So there
right.
won't be a whole lot of melting. And plus tomorrow evening when all this starts, the sun's gone down. There's no melting.
Sure.
So it's just whatever happens and falls, it's just going to be a solid, you know, here we go. But
Yeah.
driving home for the Thunder game, even though we might
Yeah, that
have
was
some lights,
Diane. We just keep getting messages, by the way, that are
what?
coming in on all the different platforms that
Oh
we're
yeah.
streaming on right now. So that was Diane, David, that had asked that question.
Okay, yeah. I mean, and that's a good question. But I think tomorrow evening I would count on slick and hazardous driving beginning to develop from Oklahoma City west and south and southwest, and then it just gets worse. It gets worse from there. So, you want to take a look at some of the maybe show satellite data here. I'm going to share
Yeah.
this to see if we can. And
So this is just the data that we all look at. All of us on the weather team, I mean, constantly through the
yeah,
day, there's live satellite data, live current conditions,
yeah,
and then of course that gets put into computers and that spits out what could
right.
happen through a bunch of calculations.
Well,
And
my screen did that to me again. What it was doing earlier. It's not coming up
uh-oh,
with the
your
right.
screen. That's all right. Here. I'll pull up visible and then we can or water vapor
IR.
and we can just kind
Yeah.
of we can just go from there if you want.
Yeah, bring up IR. Let's see if I'll get this
Okay,
figured out.
this is water vapor.
Okay.
You see that?
Yep. And can you see my pointer on the screen? Probably can't.
I don't see it.
Okay. I was just circling the upper low out there, but
Okay.
with my cursor. But um, you know, this is kind of the big view, right? And you can see the big bowling ball. I mean, coming into California, it's just now. This is another thing too. It's just now getting on shore. A lot of folks are like, well, why does the data change? It's going to change anyway, even when it gets on shore. It gets
Right.
up above what we call the grid or above the continental United States, where the air and the data is better. It's better because there's more airplanes. It's better because we have weather balloons that go up, and there's just several reasons why the model data get better and the forecasts get better. But one thing cool, we've talked about this a little bit on the air, just haven't had a whole lot of time, but the hurricane reconnaissance airplanes the last 2 days have been flying into that storm and slicing and dicing it. I think they did 25 drop zones yesterday, so they're dropping the little parachute with the little weather instrument on it, just like they do
So
in
cool.
hurricanes. Pretty cool, and they're getting weather data, and we're putting that into models that we're looking at. I think it's only the American model, though. I don't think it's the other ones. I could be wrong, but I think it's only the American. But
And it goes in, and that goes into calculations. And this is exactly what the storm has: strength, wind,
yeah,
energy, all that stuff. And then that gets translated into a forecast. And that's just one particular forecast. But look at how that thing is wrapped up, spinning from California, headed to the Baja. And now parts of it's over land. So now some of the instrumentation over land is going to be measuring this data as well, the storm.
right. Hang on a second. I'm gonna try to share this. No.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, so and so we have a little bit of, we'll call it a little bit of extra data coming into at least one model, and it's a good model. It's the American model. It's not our favorite. It's not my favorite, but it is what it is. And
What is your favorite?
well, overall, the European. I mean,
Yeah.
as far as um, big storms and cold air and things like that, the American model is by far, I think, more superior. So the Europeans have us beat on that, whether we want to admit it or not, and that shouldn't happen. All right, so let's talk about yeah, some of the data here. I tell you what, if you can go to the 500 volt on maybe the NAM or
Okay.
something,
Okay.
and just to
Here's the European.
that's fine. And if you look off the coast there, kind of where her cursor is, off the coast of California, you see that bowling ball? There it is, and it goes into Mexico tonight.
Yeah. Way
And
down.
tomorrow, but out ahead of it. See how the lines are oriented? So we have strong jet stream winds, very strong, up and over Oklahoma, and that's out ahead of it. So the main storm itself doesn't get here until Sunday morning. But we're going to have lift out ahead of it because of we're being downstream from that storm. So you start to get lift and start to make the atmosphere rise. And the thing is, we have the cold air here at the same time. So
That is
yeah, what
time
is that?
wise. That's Sunday morning that the actual vorticity is getting over Oklahoma. So our best lift is
Yeah,
late Saturday,
into early
early
Sunday.
Sunday, and then it steers out.
And by the way, just to back that up one more time, I'm just remembering compared to
Yep.
last night, that main
Sure.
vort is a
Yep.
little farther south
Yep.
and it still is strong. Does it come through negatively tilted? Let's see. Well, yeah,
There's
okay. So
actually a
it's
secondary
a little
wave, but yeah.
further south. It doesn't change anything really, but we have a chance of having thunder and lightning maybe tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, and then again tomorrow night or Saturday night into Sunday morning. I think we hear thunder in Oklahoma, which it takes a little bit to get that going. But this is a
Yeah.
dynamic system. So it's a dynamic system for
Absolutely.
sure. Um, okay, so there's that. You want to jump? Anyway, so after that, this moves out
We'll
Sunday
start
morning,
perking up.
Sunday afternoon. We might even see some sunshine here. The cold, and it's not just here. This is one of the biggest winter storms to impact the U.S. in quite a while, probably since 2020 to 2021. This magnitude running from Arizona to New Mexico to
Yep.
Texas, all the way to the East Coast, and the fact that it's not just the length of it, but it's the width of it, running from Kansas all the way to Houston, all the way to
Yeah.
Louisiana, Mississippi, all the way into the Carolinas. So it's a large storm system. So, but look at the cold,
And
Lace. I
so,
mean, look
so
at that.
traveling, I mean, a lot of times it's like, oh yeah, a couple hundred miles wide, whatever it may be, a state,
Hmm.
and that's the width of it, and that does big things to travel. I mean, not just ground, but also air travel, because so many areas will see ice. So traveling this weekend, if you're flying out, my goodness, many of the big hubs are going to be dealing with this storm. It's not just Oklahoma.
Right. Oh, hang on.
This is the cold. Can you see that? Okay.
I just did something here.
You just took it. Therefore, you go for it.
I did?
Yeah. That
What
ain't
just
me.
happened? Is that you or me?
That's your computer.
Okay, good. I can't even see you anymore. But anyway,
Yeah.
all right. So
There's the book max. That's the same thing.
yeah,
I'm
so
here. We're good.
that's what we were showing over again, California. Can you see my cursor on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So there's California,
I
and
can. It looks good.
all right, look at the motion in that. I mean, that's pretty impressive, folks. It's just a big bowling ball. It's a big cold pocket of air, and again, it's coming east. So, how about we jump into a little bit of model data, and then we'll get to what we put together and what you put together, this morning. Does that work?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, are we still good?
Yeah. It looks good.
Okay, so this is just one of the models, and we'll show you model data first, then we'll show you our forecast. I've said this all week
Yeah.
long. A lot of people in this market, a lot of people in other markets, all they do is show model data on TV. That's not forecasting. You might as well not even go to work. Thanks for playing, but it doesn't count. Okay.
What if
Um,
I did that? What if I did that? What would you do?
I
If I
mean,
just skipped in here right before the show and showed you some model data?
I don't know. I mean, I think you'll love it in North Dakota.
Okay, show the model data with the caveat that this is not our forecast. We're just
You've
showing you some of
always
the
wanted to
things
go
that
to
we're seeing.
Florida. Model data. No, it's fine. Here's the deal. If the model data agrees with what you think is going to happen, I've done it. I've shown it when I'm like, okay, hang on a second. It's pretty good to what we're
Sure.
thinking. But when when there are so many variables going into what we think is going to happen. So anyway, okay, so here's the deal. This is one model data. I'll tell you what I do. I want to talk about quickly about tomorrow morning. So
Okay, so while you're doing that, Tanner was just asking, since the storm is slower, does that change the forecast some? And it does. It does change the snow. It changes the sleet some, but it's not going to be a drastic change that you're going to be like, whoa, 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 this is a completely different storm.
yes,
Slower actually means it precipitates longer. So
yes, yes, right, absolutely. Okay, so this is overnight tonight, and you're looking at Oklahoma here. This area out here is basically either some light drizzle or beginning of what could be freezing drizzle, and that's going to be at 2 o'clock in the morning. We take this out, but notice how it goes away. It goes into western Oklahoma still. Again, a little bit of ice. This is a mixed bag of a little ice, a little sleet, and a little snow, maybe some light drizzle, or maybe some light spotty showers in the southwest. But it leaves Oklahoma City out of it. Now, am I buying that? Not yet, because this could easily be back into the metro. So this is what you were talking about, and what we've been talking about. There might be this light winter mix tomorrow morning, um, as the front is pressing in from the north, as the again
right.
Arctic Siberian air is coming in. But also when you go to look at
But
humidity
you're not
tomorrow
going to
morning,
wake up tomorrow to snow on the ground.
no,
Not happening.
no. And but look at the humidity at 6 o'clock in the morning here. I'm at
Yeah.
56%, and there's no drizzle here. But western, southwestern Oklahoma, if this model's right, there is some drizzle and maybe some sleet, maybe a little snow flurry activity, whatever going on in the west and southwest. But there's a chance this isn't right, and it's farther back to the northeast. So that's the one thing we have to worry about. If I come down here and just do total preset by type through noon tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
a little drizzle out west, a little freezing drizzle out west, a little sleet, and a little snow out west. Leaves Oklahoma City out of it. Not 100% guaranteed that's going to happen, but I still think the overall chance, as we've said the last couple of days for Oklahoma City, it's pretty low, but it's not zero.
Right.
Not zero. And it could go back. So we need to watch tomorrow morning. Like you said, you and Megan will have it covered. We'll have trackers out in the morning, at least on standby, or we'll evaluate it overnight tonight, and we'll go from there. All right. So let's just jump ahead. All right. Ooh, hang on, standby. Can you hear my
This is
dog? Can
what
you hear
radar
this?
could look like.
So this is future radar. Okay, so this is just one model. All right, there's noon tomorrow. Pretty quiet in Oklahoma on that. Pretty quiet.
Yeah, so a little slower. It takes it a little longer for everything to kind of
Yeah.
set up and move on in.
Snowing in the Panhandle. This is all snow, light rain in Texas, but we look pretty good, at least on this model. And then look how we just go from that. There's 6 o'clock. This is the beginning of the party. Okay, so Oklahoma City
Yeah,
still dry,
sometime
possibly.
between 4 and 6 p.m.
What's that?
Sometime between 4 and 6 p.m.
There's
at the earliest.
Yeah, there's 6 o'clock in the evening tomorrow. That's going to be, and again, this could be some light freezing rain or sleet over Oklahoma City, or have the cursor, that's the Oklahoma County, down to southern and southwest Oklahoma. So this is the beginning, all snow out in the Panhandle. All right, so let's just take you through. 7 o'clock, the Thunder game is kicking off. A little bit of a mixed bag, a little bit of some possibly light freezing rain, a little sleet, and a little snow. 8 o'clock, now we're in it. The party has begun. 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, boom, 10 o'clock. So when the Thunder game's over at 9:30, yeah, you're walking out into that, okay?
And
Okay,
temperatures
so
are in the teens when that's happening. Air
yeah,
temperature is in the teens.
yeah, good point. And look, this still has us in the
Well, that's
20s.
warmer. Yeah.
And I'm not buying that. It could be right. I'm not buying that. But yes, I agree with you. We're in the teens. So there's tomorrow at 10 o'clock tomorrow night. Okay. And remember this, we have two major waves. This is the first wave. There's 6 o'clock. So this goes on all night. This model's saying this is all sleet, not much freezing rain. I hope this model's right.
Me too.
Really? Yes. Both the NAMs, both these models have not had a lot of ice in Oklahoma at all. So that's good, but we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But anyway, so this is this peach color on the map. This is all sleet, some ice, maybe some light ice and snow, and then I-40 north or Oklahoma City north. I-40 north is all snow. Tomorrow evening, tomorrow night. And look at this line. Look at this razor sharp line between sleet and snow. It's
And look where it is. Look at the location of it.
I know. Of course, it's right across Oklahoma County. But again, we know that's not going to be right. It could be, but it's either going to be a little farther north, a little farther south. Could be right.
Sure.
Could be right. It's going to be close.
It's going to be close. So Donna just asked David, with the temperatures being the 50s today, will the roads be too warm to have this stick initially? Is kind of the thought, and probably so in the very, very beginning tomorrow.
Yeah.
But we've got such a strong north wind, and we get so cold by tomorrow afternoon. Once the precip gets heavy enough, that's going to cool the road temps.
Yeah, the wind tomorrow will help cool the surfaces, and the fact that we're going to be in the teens when this is going tomorrow night. So, or tomorrow evening when this starts. So the bridges and overpasses done, and then the roads will come in a fast, hard second right after tomorrow evening. So, Thunder game, I don't know. It's always looked like we're going to have precip, but we're definitely going to have precip. All right, so take you through tomorrow night. There's 6 o'clock Saturday morning. Starting to see a little bit of a weakness, a little bit of a hole back here. So it's weakening. This is wave 1, okay? Wave 1, sleet, snow, sleet, snow, sleet, snow. And just for fun, by Saturday morning, let's back this up just a second. By 10 o'clock tomorrow night, Oklahoma City, a trace of sleet, and then up to a half an inch to an inch down in southern Oklahoma. And again, this is a model. This isn't us talking. We're talking about it. This isn't locked in. This is not the Bible. This is, not 100% guaranteed, but you can certainly get the trend here. Tomorrow evening by 10 o'clock, half an inch to an inch, I-40 south. This is sleet. And sleet's horrible. To me, it's freezing rain is the worst, sleet second, snow's third. Yep. Freezing rain brings down power lines and trees and coats and glazes everything with ice. Sleet bounces off everything, but it acts like freezing rain after several hours and a day or two. It starts to compact. It gets into this layer of thick ice. And it's horrible to travel on. And then it melts in. The ground warms it. It melts. It's horrible. I hate it.
It freezes, yeah.
It's just over and over and over. It's just a nightmare. I mean, sleet is horrible. If we could have anything, all snow, but it doesn't look like we're just going to get all snow. Okay, so by Saturday morning, this is ridiculous. Some of these numbers on there, these are sleet amounts just through Saturday morning at 6 o'clock in the morning. 2 to 3 inches of sleet. If that happens, southern Oklahoma, you are shut down for days. I mean,
travel. That's one particular data set. The blend also has, these totals are nuts, but 6 to 8 inches of sleet.
It's nuts.
Because it starts as sleet and it sleets the entire duration in some areas.
Yeah.
And I've not seen that happen, but if that happens, my goodness.
I remember, we've had sleet storms where it's running off the roof, and it's been 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago. We had a horrible sleet storm. We didn't have school. You live in Edmond. We live in Edmond. I know school was out for 7 days, and we were bone dry. It was like a 2-day deal, same deal. It was all sleet, very little snow. It was incredible. I had 3 and 4 foot piles coming off the roof of sleet that I had for over a month that didn't melt. School was out for a week because you can't plow it.
It doesn't melt like snow. Yeah.
Anyway. So we'll see. But anyway, so that's through 6 o'clock Saturday morning. Let's go back to radar here. This is future radar, and this is moving out. And notice how by noon, look at the light, still snowing. It snows all day Saturday. It's just going to get lighter, and this will be light snow and flurries. But this is wave 1. Wave 1 is beginning to move out, but we get a little bit of a break. I still think we have flurries in the afternoon. And then notice we get a little bit of a break. Look what happens like tomorrow afternoon. There's 6 o'clock Saturday. Between 5, this is still ongoing sleet down here. All sleet in southern and southeast Oklahoma, really southeast metro. Goes all afternoon. We get a break and then it comes back.
So if that happens and that solution ends up being correct,
yes,
you would not have much snow tomorrow. You would not have snow Saturday morning either, which means our big snow push would be Saturday afternoon, evening, night,
right
into Sunday morning.
Right.
If that's correct.
If the model's right and that warm layer is there, right? Okay, so
but the roads are a mess by that point. I mean, already.
Let's go out through this model only goes out through Saturday evening. So let's look just quickly here at sleet totals. By that point, Oklahoma City, at Guthrie has nothing, has no sleet. Downtown Oklahoma City airport has 1 inch. Norman has 2 inches. And then look at these totals down here, 3 to 4 inches of sleet. This is one model, 4.5 in Hugo. No way. It's crazy. I mean, these are like record sleet amounts. Okay. That's crazy. All right, here's snow amounts through Saturday. Now look at the dividing here. Oklahoma City 2.9 inches, Guthrie 8. Okay, I love it.
Sulphur 0, Pauls Valley 0, Washington 0,
Ada 0, Ardmore, Lawton, Marlow, Duncan, Chickasha almost 0. Snow, you have all sleet down there. Okay, what about ice? I love this. If this is right, I'm not sure it's going to be right, but it has no ice storm in Oklahoma. It's got a little bit of ice, maybe out west, Friday morning, tomorrow morning, and then down in southern Oklahoma a little bit. Certainly not bringing on power lines down there. Texas gets hammered. Texas loses no matter what.
But yes.
Go ahead.
If you go to the HER, the 12Z HER came in with very heavy ice in the southeast. It is kind of the outlier, but it does have very heavy ice in the southeast.
And I just switched to the other NAM and another model. Again, this has got ice in Texas. Look how different this is. This sleet is farther north, different model. Look how much farther north the sleet is on this.
7 inches in southeast Oklahoma on that.
How about 9.2 in
is that a 9.2?
9.2 inches of sleet. It's absurd. I mean, that would be unprecedented. Okay. And then what about snow? Look at the difference here. Now, the difference is because it's only got 60 hours. We'll compare apples to apples. And this model is a little bit heavier on the snow farther south. It's given Oklahoma City still about 3 inches at this time, and then 6 in El Reno and 7 up in Guthrie. And then Tulsa, Stillwater already have 6 to 10 to 12 inches. Okay, now let's take this all the way out through the whole event. The wave number 2 comes out. Oh, let's show that real quick. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. Okay, so once again, wave 1 is moving out, and then here comes wave 2. And this will be this could, Lacey, I've seen these go either way, where wave 2 can be stronger or it can be weaker.
Yep.
I mean, wave 2.
And you can be waiting on wave number 2, and wave 2 just doesn't come into fruition. That happens sometimes.
It's just it doesn't come out as big and bad, but let's buy this. Let's buy this. So this is wave 2, Sunday morning, Saturday night, overnight. I mean, it's party. Yep. It's party time. And then there's Sunday morning at 6 a.m. And then it's beginning to wrap up. There's noon. Goodbye. It's out of here. Snow goes on in northern Oklahoma. It's moving out. So those are both waves combined. And we might even see some sunshine here Sunday afternoon. So there are the totals on this model. 17 inches of snow in Ponca, 15 in Enid, Oklahoma City, 4 in Norman, 11 in El Reno, a foot in Guthrie, 17 inches in Tulsa. So it's a pretty sharp gradient along I-44, right? So
Jacqueline was just asking for all the people in the different areas watching. So we're going through these models, and then it's up to us to decide what we're going to put together to a forecast. When you're looking at all these, she was just asking, how do you pick which one you're going to go with?
That's just it. Great question. We take all these models, we put them up here, and we ram our head into the wall for like 30 minutes, and then we come out with, what we think is going to happen. You try to find a compromise between the two. the NAM can be overdone, on the cold sometimes, and then not overdone enough on the warm air. I mean, they all have their strengths and weaknesses. So you just kind of try to take a blend or a compromise of what you think is going to happen. I mean, these amounts of snow, if we get any part of this, these are record snowfall amounts. I think Friday the snowfall amount's only like 2 inches or something. I don't know what it is for the day.
For the daily record.
Yeah, but I know Saturday and Sunday it's like at 5 and 3 inches or 2 inches. I mean, we're gonna beat, if this verifies, we're gonna have record snow for sure.
Right.
For maybe 2 days back to back. So.
And this is all 77 counties. Even if you don't get the heavy snow, you get the heavy sleet or a mixture of sleet and freezing rain. So travel is still, any way you look at it, across the entire state.
Yeah.
Is going to be.
Hang on, I don't hear you.
It's going to be a nightmare.
There you go.
And wind is strong tomorrow, especially with rain. It's off into Saturday. So it's like 10 to 20, but that'll still give us some drifts.
Yes. I think it's windy in the morning Saturday, and then it probably comes down a little, you're right, into the afternoon, probably 15, 25 in the morning. It doesn't matter. Right. It's going to be such a light, fluffy snow that it will be blowing and drifting. That'll make the roads worse. You'll get, the east-west roads will have more snow on them and things like that.
Right.
But sleet is, sleet's kind of hard to blow around a little bit. And sleet, wherever that sleet is, it falls, sticks, and stays. All right. I just want to show, this is the new, is my screen still good? Lacey?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. So
this is me saying good night. Yes, that's crazy.
Thank you for joining us, everybody. All right. So this is the American model that the Hurricane Hunter data has been going into. Take it for what it is. It's cool they're doing that. I think it makes the forecast better. But this is what it does on the sleet for the entire event. Nothing in Oklahoma City, a tiny bit in Norman, and it's all down south, southern and southeast Oklahoma. And look at the totals. 2, 3, 4. This is more of a global model, obviously, and the other data showing 9 inches of sleet is more of a convective model, which might pan out more so than this because
you're right.
If we get thunder and that all going on down there will be some crazy sleet amounts. But this model, look, I mean, Ardmore, southern Oklahoma, 2 to 3 inches, 4 inches, okay, 5, okay, respectable. Freezing rain, nothing. Again, nothing in Oklahoma, really, as far as freezing rain. No ice storm for us with this model. And what about snow? This model has just been out of its mind. But notice it's come back around to kind of what we've had with, again, it's got eastern Oklahoma at 20 inches, but that's come down. It had like 30 yesterday. But you can see the total here. It's 12 inches in Oklahoma City, 10 inches in Ponca, 10 inches in Clinton, and 10 inches in Woodward. So this is pretty good. I like what I'm seeing here. I think this is a pretty good look at what we're seeing. This bottom part of that lace obviously might be a little farther north on the heavier snow amounts, but could still be right. It's kind of a moving target, but
for the sleet totals being what they are in southeast Oklahoma, honestly, that would be best case scenario right now because they get several inches of liquid precipitation. Meaning, if it were all just liquid and it rained, it's several inches. If that were freezing rain, that would be an absolutely catastrophic ice storm because that's what sticks on the power lines, the tree limbs, weighs everything down. I mean, there'd be trees busting all over the place and power poles snapped all over the place. So if it falls as sleet, the roads are a nightmare, but you're not dealing with the big power grid issues that you could be dealing with. Either way, it's a ton of moisture for January.
I mean, it's you're either getting, sleet or snow. Some places will just get all snow. I think we see both in Oklahoma City, and then southern Oklahoma is going to be, that, like you said, Texas, Louisiana, parts of southern Arkansas, into Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama. There's going to be millions of people without power going into this weekend and early next week. Millions. And there'll be people without power for weeks and maybe months to come. Rural areas, trees fall on, homes. As you get deeper into the deep south, And again, mobile homes are great to live in 99.9% of the year. They're just fine. But there'll be trees falling on mobile homes, and you get injuries, you get fatalities, you get things like that because you have all the pine trees in the east and southeast, and those pine trees will come down.
Right.
So, it's not good to our south and east, where they are for sure getting the ice storm. I just zoomed in here. This is the central Oklahoma view for fun. This model, 13 inches in Guthrie, 12 inches in Norman, 15 inches in Seminole, and whatever foot in El Reno. Maybe a little overdone. And like we've been saying, if we get more sleet in here, that will dramatically bring down your snow amounts. And it can bring them down to half if you get a bunch of sleet in this zone right across I-40. If that sleet zone's farther north, these snow amounts could be dropped in half easily. And that can still happen. Okay, so I just want to, and then we're going to jump into all the stuff that you built that we've been showing here. I just want to show one thing, the magnitude of this storm. And I'm not going to show you all the amounts here.
That is so insane. That is so nuts.
Look, that's through Monday, folks. This runs from Arizona, New Mexico, but look at that. That's just snow. I mean, the millions. It's like 20% of the country, 30%. I don't know. It's a lot.
And that doesn't include the freezing rain and sleet. That's
No.
just the snow impact.
Actually, snow. Now let's have a little more fun, and let's add on the freezing rain. There's your horrific ice storm. Possibly southern Oklahoma, Texas. There is a winter storm watch for Houston.
Yeah.
They're going to get ice and sleet. But look at that. Look at the ice storm in here. Catastrophic ice storm. 1 to 3 inches of ice in this zone in here. 1 to 3 inches. And again, once again, this is also the, they obviously don't have. It doesn't matter what kind of equipment. You can't plow snow. I mean, you can't plow ice.
Right.
I mean, they just have all the pine trees. It's just a mess. It's going to be a historic ice storm for the south and the east, and then throw in some sleet just for kicks and giggles. Look at that. Look at the sleet amount. So, anyway,
It's hard to fathom what that's going to look like, come Sunday. And everybody's making all their plans. How many people? I know you've heard from hundreds of people that are trying to drive to Texas because they have this cheer competition. That's one of the big competitions. All these big competitions and things that go on that people from Oklahoma travel to out of state. And I mean, I've just been telling people, I don't know how you're going to get there. I don't know how you're going to get back. I mean, truly. And I would not want to be in a car with my child dealing with the other people on the roadway in that.
No, it's not you, but it's the crazy driver, whether it's a semi or the crazy driver.
Well, it's you, but yeah.
Me?
Some people. You're a pretty good driver.
Well, no, I'm really not. But I can drive in this stuff just because I've done it for so long. I mean, my daughter, she was like, she's here for a visiting, you know that. But anyway, she was like, "Are you really going to go to work?" And I'm like, "What?" First of all, there won't be anybody in the roads when I go to work Saturday. It'll be me,
That's
and
true.
I might pass Lacey on the way in. Hey, 'cause it'll be so quiet. I mean, it'll be we're gonna no one's gonna be out over the weekend. I mean, there'll be some. People are always got to travel. You have to get out. I get it. Hey, real quick, just on the European model. I know the new isn't in yet. It's going to be in here in the next hour, but just to show you what it does on the sleet across the U.S., the freezing rain. Look at that. Look how deep that is into Oklahoma. That's why I wanted to show you that.
Yep.
Look how much Oklahoma is under the ice. And let's go back to this. See, this is our problem. And the reason we're still, even though more models don't have ice like this in Oklahoma, this is a good model, and you can't ignore it. And folks, this gives Pauls Valley a 9/10 of an inch. Purcell 4/10. You get 3 to 4/10 and up, you're going to lose power. You're going to lose trees, and it's going to be a mess. And we're going to be without power down here.
Yeah.
But again, this is really one of the only models. I say that the RRFS. There's a couple that have this.
And the HER has it.
Yeah, and the HER. We can't ignore that. That's why we still have to be talking about this ice storm down here. And this would give hundreds of thousands of people in Oklahoma without power across southeast Oklahoma. Okay? I mean, 100,000 people, possibly. Yeah. It's easy to get to that number down here. Okay? But again, some data doesn't have that. Let me look at the Canadian. There's a Canadian. No ice. No ice here. Okay, like you said, let's look at the her, and because
Okay.
you're right, this morning's
A 12 Z.
okay.
Doug, by the way, he's asking any expectations of when it melts and gets clear. Yeah, we're going to show you all the forecast graphics
Yep.
here in just a second.
Yep.
But like we're saying, if you get that much sleet or ice and even these snow totals, this goes well into early next week, and there'll probably be some of this on the ground, David, for
All week.
how long?
All next week.
All of next week.
Yeah. I mean, the roads will get better. I mean, because of just the warming of the ground, the sun, the roads will get better. They'll get better each and every day. Monday, the plows will do a good job, but your secondary streets, side streets, they'll be bad Monday, Tuesday. I think schools closed. I think it's all closed Monday. I don't think,
And it'll be 3 below zero. I mean, it'll be
Yeah.
extremely cold on
Yeah.
top of
Yeah.
trying to get out.
And Monday afternoon, roads will get a little bit better. The main roads will, more traveled roads will, but I think the other roads are shut down through Monday and Tuesday. I don't think there's any school. I think we're done. If all this happens, I mean, I don't see why it's not. There's a her. This is another model that came out early this morning that goes out, and that's what we're talking about here. You see the ice amounts down here, 1/2 inch, and this is only through Saturday morning. But it's got a 4/10 of an inch in Lawton, 3/10 of an inch down in Altus. This is still an ice storm. This would still give you power bumps and power outages, especially when you get down to this 1/2 inch stuff.
Curtin County is like well over an inch.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Hugo, Idabel,
With that.
Beavers Bend. If this happens, it's Beavers Bend and Hochtown and all that's without power for God knows how long. And some places, in 2007, there were 2007, 2009, 2000. What's our recent one? 14, 15. There were people without power down in southeast Oklahoma for over 3 months.
2020.
2020, no power
Yeah.
for 3 months. Ice. Because you have one guy or two homes on one line, they don't come to you first. They just don't. They'll get to you, but it months can go by. I know it's horrible. I hate ice. Okay, but by the way, just showing for what
It is. It's terrible.
Let's see what ice is doing here. So it's trying to mix in by Saturday morning. We're getting colder, and it's trying to say we're getting more sleet down in here. So that would be good, and hopefully that would. Let's say this
Yep.
ice does materialize. Maybe we get enough ice to give us problems, but then we start to transition to more sleet for Saturday night or Saturday evening, Saturday afternoon, Saturday night into early Sunday, and more sleet down here than anything. That would be good. But I tell you what, if I live in southern and southeast Oklahoma today, if I live in Ada, Ardmore, Pauls Valley, South, Ardmore, Durant, Lake Texoma Land, Hugo, McAllister, I'm thinking of what are we going to do if we lose power? What are we going to do? Where are we going to go? How are we going to keep warm?
Yep.
I'm thinking about my plan
How are
right
you
now.
going to keep warm? How are you going to keep?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
How are you going to keep your,
what are you
your
gonna do?
food cold,
Yeah,
frozen?
yeah. Wood, fireplace, great. Move, go somewhere. So, generator. Okay. I mean, but again, that's not locked in. It's not 100%. Okay. So, let's get to the forecast, what we think. So you've seen kind of everything. None of it's good. It's all bad. It's a major winter storm. It's going to be a record winter storm, I think, at least potentially for snow amounts, maybe sleet amounts. I don't think it'll be a ice storm, record storm for that. For ice, we've had bigger ice storms in the past. I don't think it's going to be a record, but certainly enough to give us problems if the ice pans out. So go ahead. Let's take a look at.
Okay, can you see that and see the temperature timeline?
I cannot yet. I'm trying to. Yeah, I got you. Okay. Are you there?
Go back to your tab with where the. Okay, you see timeline.
I see you.
I can do that.
You're cutting out a little bit. Do you know that?
Okay, hold on. She's showing me something. Wait a minute.
Is there a present button? Or maybe try that.
Okay.
There we go. So it'll be
Oh,
full screen.
okay,
And
cool.
then use your
Oh, look at this. She got me set up here.
What happened?
Okay, so there you go. Thank you, Anna. That is the temperature timeline. So this is tomorrow morning, 30. Some days colder, some days a little warmer, but it drops through the day down to the teens, 20s by the afternoon. This is the air temp, not the wind chill. So Saturday morning, single digits. And really, we don't budge Saturday. We just don't. We're socked in. It precipitates all day. Down to maybe 2 Sunday morning, 10 Sunday. Those are close to records, if not record breaking. And the wind chill is like 10 to 20 at times degrees below zero. So this is the timeline based on what I had seen this morning. David, I don't know if you've seen this one. And I tried to do like the wave 1, 2, and this is for the Oklahoma City metro.
Yeah,
So in the
yeah.
morning, definitely not locked in that we have any precip at all.
Yeah, and by the way, on that graphic before that, you had like 27 at noon or whatever, and whatever, mid 20s. The sun's just the UV,
Yeah.
that can still keep things kind of okay. It's still warming the ground a little bit, but when you get to that 20 degrees and that 19 by late afternoon and evening, when the sun goes down tomorrow evening, when the real heavy precip, the heaviest precip starts to evolve, we're done. I mean, there won't be any
Yeah.
melting at all. There'll be initially because crews have done a great job on the main roads that are treated, but outside of that, your secondary streets and driveways are going to be a mess. All right, so yeah, there's wave 1 tomorrow morning. I see. Yeah, you did. Would you go 40%?
40, yeah, because there were several high-res models that still had at least some freezing drizzle at some point during the morning
Right.
through noon. So
Right.
just check in because we'll have you updated. We'll have people out, and if it's getting bad, we'll let you know. If it's not, we'll let you know. Hey, it's pretty good right now.
Yeah.
And then sometime in the afternoon, evening, and I just kept the pink, which is kind of our wintry mix. That just
Yeah.
tells you it's not all snow.
Right. And if you could put a bar between the afternoon and tomorrow night, and we can call night the
Yeah.
evening, but tomorrow evening it's 100%. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I think we have sleet and snow here tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, like you said, into Saturday morning. We get a break.
Sure.
It'll probably still lightly snow into the afternoon or flurry on Saturday, and then there's your wave number 2, late afternoon on Saturday into Sunday morning. So, yeah, it all looks
And
good.
it's snow. Yeah, and it should be snow, and it's heavy snow all the way through. So that's the latest. Now this is kind of what I did with the sleet totals this morning.
Okay.
Brought everything farther north, and depending on what you look at, because you saw this may be way underdone with some data, but that would cut into snow totals down in southern Oklahoma if this plays out. What do you think about kind of the
Yeah.
1 to 3?
Yeah, no, I think that's good. I mean, half an inch. Yeah, notice Oklahoma City is right on the middle between a trace at Guthrie to half an inch to an inch across the metro, and that stuff that you have at Purcell and just south of us. I mean, that comes further north, and that's what we said earlier. I mean, snow amounts could be half what we're forecasting because we're going to get a lot more sleet. It takes a tiny bit of liquid to get a lot of snow, and it takes a lot of liquid. Basically, it's almost equivalent to get sleet. It forms differently. It's completely different on how sleet forms and how much moisture it takes. Tiny bit of liquid to give you a lot of snow, and so if you start to mix in more sleet with it, something like that always happens. There's always something like, oh well, hang on. But unlike other
Right.
storms of the past, where we're like, oh, we're going to be mixed with rain, we're going to change over to snow. When do we change over? That's not a problem. We're going to get sleet, we're going to get snow, we're going to get hammered. I mean, it's not like, well, hang on, are we going to get kind of a
Right.
mixed bag of rain? No. Anyway, who made that map?
I told you I'd shock you. Okay, so this is just
Looks good.
everything this morning. Brought
good.
everything further north as far as snow goes because sleet cuts into it. Now, you saw some data doesn't have any snow whatsoever in Sulphur, Pauls Valley, maybe even Washington.
Right.
But there's still that second wave that comes in that could still dump quite a bit of snow, but that's a razor fine line. And then, Northwest Oklahoma, folks up there, some data gives you 6 inches to 10 inches of snow. Some data says you can get more 5 to 6. The Northwest also kind of one of the big questions I had this morning.
Yeah, no, I think, but and you have to obviously you have to word that. I think the red is really good. It's what we've had, and I like the 6 to 12. There may be some areas that do pick up maybe east of Tulsa, maybe, more than a foot, maybe 15 inches or whatever in the higher
Absolutely.
elevations. That's certainly possible. But the 4 to 8 and the 3 to 6, I'm all in. But again, that area could, like you said, change a little bit. But 2 to 4 inches on top of 3 inches of sleet down to our south and
This-
southeast is just
yeah.
crazy. But yeah, no, that map looks good. I like it.
And it's still going to change. I mean, that's still going to change. So David will come in this afternoon and he'll adjust based on where the storm is and what it's doing. This is a map that I just think if you try to explain what we do to other people across the country, it's hard to comprehend because take a look at this. As far as snow totals go,
Yep.
in our central portion of our state, you go from a range of 6 to 12 to 4 to 8 to 3 to 6 to 2 to 4.
Yeah.
I mean, and,
Yeah.
that shift, that tight gradient could shift north, south, it makes our jobs. I mean, this is why we love it though. This is what keeps us up at night, but also keeps us going.
Yeah. No, it could easily, that 6 to 12 could go a little farther north or a little farther south, and so could the 4 to 8. Yeah, no doubt. I mean, but remember, the storm is just
Yep.
telling our viewers and listeners here, the storm is just now moving onshore today and tonight. I think the data will get a little bit better, and it'll get in the grid. It'll get in the good area, the sweet spot that I think the forecast will become a little bit better. I think it's good now. What you do on ice totals? Yeah, I like that. I still like that. Can you hear me? You're frozen.
Yeah. And it's fine.
Can you hear me?
Oh. Hello.
Hello? You froze up.
Okay.
You keep freezing up.
I
Are
can
you?
hear you.
I can hear you. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Uh,
Yeah, you're
well,
frozen. You're frozen on my end. You keep freezing up. But anyway,
yeah.
what'd she say?
She said, "Did you tell him? Keep going."
Okay. Oh yeah. Anyway, you keep freezing up, so you'll like I'll get like anyway. I don't know what you're saying. All right. So by the way, I'm looking at just for fun. Okay. So right, your ice totals, and we've had this, and again, we've shown you that not all the data have this, but if I live in Ardmore, Ada, McAllister, south and east in that zone right there, if I live in the red and the white, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do if I lose power. I would at this point plan on an ice storm and then hope that we don't get it, and it stays in Texas, because that's horrible. I mean, that's a horrible ice storm for southern and southeast Oklahoma. Just if it happens. Yeah, and when I showed this graphic yesterday, I put Friday through Tuesday at the top. Just like done. Just because we're going to be so
Yeah.
cold. I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
I can now.
Woohoo! Okay.
She can.
He heard me.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. No.
I'm gonna put you on a hotspot.
Okay, yeah, totally agree. I think that this is the bare minimum
Yeah.
of the travel problem. So here's kind of the forecast maps, which is essentially the model data, but what we think is going to happen. And 20, 40, 30% in the morning through noon that we have at least some precipitation. And this is where it gets weird in Oklahoma. We got to put all the different colors because it won't be just one precip type. You'll get some showers, some drizzle, some light drizzle that's freezing on contact, some
Yeah.
sleet, and some snow. And then this was kind of afternoon, evening, freezing rain, sleet with some snow mixing in
Yeah. Tomorrow
for
afternoon and evening.
tomorrow.
Yep.
Yep. Tomorrow night into Saturday morning. And this is a 100%. So I had a bunch of hundreds on there. I just took them off because it was kind of hard to see. But this is locked in at this point that it moves in. And then it's sleet and snow. And then eventually it transitions to all snow. So this was just the 9-day forecast from this morning showing you how cold, how long. And then for all the people that are trying to figure out when does it get better? I mean, 30s, yeah, you get to the 30s for a few hours every day, but look at your morning lows. You have so much melting and refreezing next week.
Yeah. I mean, we We hope to get above freezing by Tuesday. That'd be great. But there will be melting. They'll be melting
for
Monday.
a couple hours maybe.
I mean, they'll be melting
Sure.
Monday. It'll get better. But the buses, if they can't ride and drive on the pick up the kiddos in the neighborhoods, they're not going to have school. Even though, I-35 might be pretty good by Tuesday or something. Okay. We're going to be so cold.
Sure.
Tuesday afternoon will be a big difference for us. Tuesday, we'll have a big, big improvement. But yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, Monday, I think Monday's done. And the weekend, I think, is done as well. Hey, by the way, I'm looking at the RRFS, just another model. I just want to point this out. And I don't have it. I'm just looking at it. And
Okay, you can put it up there too. Yeah.
well, we tried this before, and
You can tell us what you're seeing. You're good at describing it.
well, no, it's got snow a little farther south. It's 10-to-1 ratio, and it gives Oklahoma City 6 inches of snow.
Okay.
Well, ratios are going to be probably closer to, I don't know, 20-to-1. So you could double that, 10
Yeah.
inches. All right, whatever, give or take. But it's got Oklahoma City at an inch of sleet, and it's got 3 inches. Pauls Valley, 2 inches in Norman, and then freezing rain. It's better, but it's not good. I say better. No, it's 3/4 of an inch in Pauls Valley,
Sure.
half an inch in McAllister, 1.72 in Idabel. And that's a good model too. That's what a little concerning.
I guess, yeah.
If that comes true, man, it's a catastrophic ice storm if it happens for just south of Oklahoma City. We're out of it in the metro. I have a lot of people. Carl Torp the other day on the set, we were on the set, we were commercial, and he goes, "Hey,
Tell us.
I'm kind of, what is there a chance are you losing power? I'm kind of worried about." And I go, "Okay, why?"
Yeah.
I go, if somebody hits, the electric pole that's by your house, drives off into that, okay, you're going to lose power. But I go, we're not going to lose power in Oklahoma City. We're not going to have blizzard. We're not going to get a blizzard. A lot of the snow is going to blow off stuff because of the wind. But even the snows that sticks, it's not going to be. We're not bringing down power lines in Oklahoma City. We don't have to worry about that in the metro right now. That is not showing up anywhere. Southern Oklahoma showing up. You need to be thinking about losing power, stuff coming down. Anyway, that's the way it looks. So
And
we'll
it's
see.
still coming in. The data's still getting better. It's still, as we go through the day, you've been looking at data all morning, all night, and you'll come in here and update all these maps. And people should expect that. If you're from Oklahoma, we start forecasting and talking about things in the most detail that we can. But as it gets closer, it fine tunes, and it always changes some. And that is just what happens. So you have to plug back in. But nothing has come in that's saying, "Oh my goodness, this is catastrophically different," or
No.
changing in a way that
No.
you need to prepare differently, or you need to do something different. If you
Yeah.
get less snow, it's because you're getting more sleet.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're splitting hairs. Think about what we're trying to do. We're trying to tell you on the globe with different looking at data whether you're going to get this much snow or this. You're trying to. I don't know how to look at it. You're trying to thin a needle and you're shooting
Yeah.
from 100 yards away. It's pretty good that we get it down to this, but now you're splitting hairs on the globe where we think we're going to get the exact. But by the way, the new AI's in, and it says we have
Is
no
it?
break on Saturday.
Really?
No,
can.
it says it just keeps going, and we get a lull, but it does not stop snowing. And then the second wave comes out. The big comet head comes right up over. Yeah, and as far as winter, remember this is 10-to-1. It gives us 10.7 inches. Oklahoma City.
Yeah, and I can pull that up just really quick here
So
before
it's-
we.
So it's still
Yeah.
15 inches of snow. There you go. That's the new AI Euro.
Which is a cool
Yeah.
model. This is a straight AI model. It learns from itself. It takes in all these different variables, and
Yep.
it gets better and better.
Yep, and it's pretty good.
So,
It's pretty good. So, for the viewers watching, you'll see a lot of us coming up, this weekend.
yep.
We'll be around a lot. We'll be working. I was going to come in, but I just booked my flight to some little tropical island. I'm leaving in the morning.
Right. Barbados. Yeah, he keeps telling me that every time I call. Hey, yeah, just about to head out.
I got a
Have
trip. I
fun.
just can't cancel. I won't be able to make it. Good luck. Um, no. Yeah, we'll be on a lot this weekend. And here's the
Yep,
deal. If you have to get out and about, some people have to go to work this weekend. I get it.
absolutely.
You have to get out. Fine. Just go slow.
Right.
And if you don't have a car that's got four-wheel drive, okay, just go slow. Give yourself lots of space. Take it slow, and you can get there. You're going to be able to drive, hopefully, but just
Yeah.
go slow.
Any
Don't
type
get
of
that.
an incline, if you know you live on a hill or there's hills on
Yeah,
your way, you can
avoid
avoid
it.
big hills. Yeah, that kind of stuff. That kind of stuff gets tough. I
Yeah.
had posted yesterday just talking to people who work at grocery stores and different hardware stores and things like that. And then people
Hmm.
started sending pictures like crazy of the empty shelves across
Hmm.
Oklahoma. And I mean, I've heard tons of friends, family, just trying to go get a tank of gas, trying
Yeah.
to fill up. The line is really
Yeah.
long. People take this seriously. They gear up, so they want to stay home and not have to get out. And if you stay home, you're not in a risk of getting in a wreck or anything like that.
I heard
I think a lot of people are going to do that.
a couple of coworkers yesterday trying to order food from like Walmart to deliver, and it was like 2 or 3 days or something. I
Oh,
was like, just go get it.
oh, I believe it.
Don't wait on it because there won't be any deliveries over the
Get
weekend.
it.
Go get it. And another thing too
Just
is,
walk in the store.
I mean, just drive into the store. I mean, anyway, I don't understand. But another thing, people are talking about bread and milk. I mean, how much bread can you really eat in 2 days or 3 days?
Well,
I mean, I get if you have kids, I
a
guess in
lot.
the milk thing. But I mean, are you just
It
going
is
to just
always
eat
interesting the things people stock up on.
bread and milk? You put those in you dip your bread into the milk. I mean, why do we have to
So,
have? I'm just joking. Listen, you know what matters is toilet paper. You run out of toilet paper, people start to
that's
lose their
right.
minds.
One of our producers on the morning show, she's pregnant. She had to go get stock up, and she was like, I could not believe it. She found some, and I was like, well, girl, I got resources. I can help you out. I can tell you other backup plans.
She found
There's things
what?
you got to
Toilet
do.
paper?
Huh?
What'd she
Yeah,
find?
the people have been stocking up on toilet paper. She found some, but she had to really search for it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
that's the number one. I mean, you lose that, and suddenly society crumbles.
We
Okay,
saw that happen. We have seen that happen, yes.
COVID. We ran out of toilet paper. I didn't. I went to Lowe's and I cleaned that place out like it was my
You were
last.
the problem.
I loaded my car up like it was. Yeah, yeah. I was like, no way, no way. I can go with that food. I can go with that food for 2 weeks because I can eat snow. I can go with that food for 2 weeks. I can't go 2 hours without toilet paper. Well, now that's probably a little overdone. All right. Um,
You may need to have that looked
I need it. Yeah, I
checked
gotta see a
out.
doctor. I gotta see a doctor. It's not getting good. All right, so we're good to go. And again, trackers are ready. Storm trackers are ready. The weather team's ready. You'll see a lot of us coming up.
Yep.
Val and Tom, Jeremy, Kyle, Hank.
Right.
Everyone's ready to go. So you'll see a lot of us. We'll be streaming and screaming starting tomorrow and into your weekend. So anyway, it's all good. But prepare now. You've got today. It's beautiful. Get whatever you got to
Alex
get
says
done.
Alex says he just bought toilet paper, ice cream, and wine.
That's all you need.
Good to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
A
We're
lot
gonna
of people
see.
are saying that though, just seeing some of the comments. A lot of people are saying the stores look like COVID. I mean, it does, as
Right.
people are gearing up.
Yeah.
Um,
And
so
people
many
don't want to get out
questions
in it.
coming in.
And older
Yeah,
people don't want to get out in it. That makes total sense. Older people don't want to fall,
sure.
slip and fall
Yeah,
and break something. I get it. I mean, you go get it done, buckle in, stay home for a couple of days, and just watch some winter weather coverage. So people are going to be sick of us by Monday. They'll be tired
right.
of us. You'll be tired of me by Monday.
Yeah, but that's what we usually do.
You'll be yelling at me by Saturday morning.
Okay. Well, that's already started. Okay, well, we're still watching the chat, and thank you for everybody that's joined us. And
Yep.
we'll
Thank
have
you.
more, of course. The noon show's coming up. Justin's downstairs. He's putting stuff together. Not David's downstairs. I'm at work. And yeah, we'll have more at noon. And
And you and I, hang on, you just froze up again. But anyway, we'll be doing Facebook Lives again. I'll do one later this evening, and you'll do one, I think, late afternoon or early evening or something. I think you do yours before me.
yep.
Okay. So,
Honestly, it's when my kids give me a second. Yesterday, yeah,
Yeah.
You never know what's going to happen. I do them from home.
Yeah, and I will mine. I'll do mine from home this evening. But yeah, we'll do
Yep.
Facebook Live and Yippee and whatever else. Okay. All right. Well, nice job, and everybody, thanks for chiming in. Thanks for all the questions and comments. And that's all I got. That's all I got.